Hey folks, excited for this one. My guest this morning is Will Ron. He is a product designer and manager hybrid who works with companies to take their digital products from good to great, on a mission to find ways to make customer service amazing for companies and want to help companies 10x their support. He's an innovation seeker, optimist, speaks many languages, and is now building SideBuy.io, zero setup co-browsing for SaaS. Will, you ready to take us to the top?
Let's go.
There are so many times where I'm trying to help a founder I know use my tool Founder Path, and I'm going, man, if I could just like help them click that button or use this screen, I wish there was a way to do that. You're solving this problem. Tell us more.
We're solving it. Basically, co-browsing has been present for a couple of years now, but it was mostly big companies, big SaaS company, or financial institutions that were using it. We're trying to take it to every SaaS company out there so they can just do that. Just actually solve and jump in and solve every issue their customers are having at the time.
When did you start like designing the first pixel or writing the first line of code?
All right, this will be surprising, but we started back in April
This
2021, so we're just coming out.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So your site right now is beautifully designed. You're building a wait list. How many people right now are on the wait list?
I would say around 300, and we are rapidly growing that thanks to our CMO, which is just trying to community build every single day.
All right, let's dive into more of this. You mentioned a CMO. You're obviously doing product design, UI, UX. What's the rest of the team? How many of you guys are there?
All right, so the total team, we're five. We have two developers, one back, one front. We have our CEO, Diego, our CMO, Rizal, and me. We are very focused. We are basically coming out from another project that was also focused on customer success. We believe this is the next step into that direction.
Did the five of you guys just split equity evenly?
No, I'm an employee. There are three founders, and one of the developers are also an employee.
Okay, so do you have equity?
I don't have equity.
Will, come on, man. So why are you
working the discussions?
I was going to say, why are you working? You're young, you're handsome, you can do whatever you want, you're talented. Why are you working on something where you don't have equity?
I believe a lot in the project. I believe there's a lot to be had into that. Diego is a nice guy. He's open to discussions. We have something in mind in the future.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so there's 300 on the wait list. You got going in 2021. I want to understand how you're building the wait list because people listening right now, everyone's wondering, how do we build a wait list? So how did you get the first 100 people on the wait list?
All right, so we're basically focusing on building trust, joining community, and actually providing value to them. Everyone in the team does a different thing. I normally just jump into Twitter, try to find ways into which I can, add value to people. I love
let's try and be specific. So like add value, blah, blah, blah. This is like standard. Right. Give me real tactics, right? So where did you find the first 100 people specifically? What community?
All right. So first of all, product hunt. We are also going on Reddit. We are building a lot of community on LinkedIn, and a lot of perhaps the smaller companies that we're getting, but the most eager to try it, we are getting it from Twitter. That's a combination of things. I just like to engage with everybody, leave comments, send DMs with unrequested advice, but trying to actually solve an issue. If I see an issue or something that can be proved on any website, I just jump ahead.
So when you guys,
it's a pretty.
When you say you're building community, I guess I don't understand what that means. Do you run a big Slack channel with these folks, or is there where do you guys hang out?
All right. So at the moment, we are just building the waiting list, and there's a couple of people in the community that we want to nurture. We are working together with them to co-build the product, and we are inviting them into the process to actually build something that will be used in a good way. We don't want to develop any feature that's not going to be useful. We don't want any fluff. We want to go straight to what they need, and that's why we're.
How do you incentivize these? Or, I mean, there's a lot of people listening right now trying to build their MVP. They'd love to actually get real customers on a Zoom call to show them design prototypes and get their feedback. But it's hard to figure out a way to actually get those people that could be interested in your tool, get on a call with you to give you that feedback. How are you doing this?
All right. So surprisingly, we're having not an easy time, but we are finding that people are really eager to try or at least hear about SciBuy. We have a couple of surprisingly big SaaS companies that wanted to join in the early stages.
Tell me the real story of one of them. Name one of those companies.
All right. So we're working in the early stages with Dixa.com. We are going to be testing with them. They are a bit of a intercom acquire competitor. They are really big.
I know Dixa well, so let's keep going down the funnel here. So who at Dixa knows about you guys? Who are you working with? Who are you showing early mockups to?
All right, so we are past the mockup stage, and we are having this conversation with Tu. He is the chief customer experience evangelist.
Is that who you think you're going to be selling to mostly, or the head of customer experience, customer success?
Yes, they are the one that really get the value of a product, and they are the one that understand that cutting 60% of time on support tickets really make a difference and lets you improve the customer satisfaction.
And how do you think that this will really take off? So like if I'm head of customer experience at Dixa, if I have a customer live chatting me on my page that I can't help via text, I'm probably just inviting them to a Zoom call and they're sharing their screen and I'm telling them where to click and how to solve their issue. You obviously want to replace that and say, just use like co-browsing. Why is co-browsing a better way to do customer success and support versus just getting on a Zoom call with the person?
All right. The main thing is that we are allowing the agents to jump in, click on the stuff, and do the process. That's while, either while chatting or while having a video call. So we are not completely replacing at the moment any video calls. So if our customers are using screen sharing to video call with anybody, they can also use a browsing to finish processes quickly.
So you think what's going to happen is if a support ticket gets escalated and they have to jump on a Zoom call, they might then use SciBuy on the Zoom call so that like if you're the customer and I am the person giving you support, you could share your screen and then I could actually control your screen myself on the Zoom call.
That is correct. And in the case of Dixa, there's no Zoom needed because they do offer video calls straight on the website. So we are trying to complement that for the moment. So that's why we are trying to do something that these big players are not doing at the moment. And we want them to use SciBuy to actually do that, something that we're not doing before. And in respect to having just video calls during co-browsing, that's something we're working on to make it a native part of SciBuy in the near future.
When are you launching out of beta?
Out of beta, we are aiming for a September launch, but anything can change. So we are trying to release it when it's actually ready. We are just trying to make a solid product, and we'll launch it when the right set of features can help the most people out there.
Well, sure, but you could then be in beta for years. That doesn't work because you can't live for free. So how are you guys all paying yourselves pre-revenue?
All right. So our company raised some capital. So we have a little bit of a runway to operate and focus on building the product.
How much did you guys raise?
Around 200K.
Got it. So how much runway does that give you?
Possibly, we're a small team. We are based in Spain, so the cost of living here is not as high. So we we are in the comfortable spot that we could be running for a year or so, but that's not really the plan. We plan to release and get out of beta this year. We don't want to extend it a lot more than that.
Out of curiosity, when you guys raised the $200,000, obviously you're pre-revenue, pre-product, but it sounds like really great team. What valuation were you guys able to raise that with just your team?
That's something that our CEO knows. I cannot tell you.
Do you know?
I have a rough idea. I don't have the number in front. I have a document here with the things that I want to remember during the interview, but that exact number, I don't have it.
Okay, got it. So you guys raised $200,000 pre-revenue. You're hoping to launch in September. Pricing is critical. What price point do you think you'll launch with?
Good question. We want to remain competitive, and we know that our customers, they mostly work on a seat-based pricing. Right now, what we're offering our early adopters is to have it free until mid-September, and we are offering a 50% discount for life to join before that period. And the prices is just $39 US dollars per month per agent.
Per month per seat. So if they join today, they can get it for $20 per month per seat.
That's correct.
Interesting. Okay. How'd you come up with that price point?
A lot of market research. We actually just straight up asked everybody what pricing that we're comfortable with, what was standard in the industry. And it's a price point that's good for us. We believe will allow more SaaS companies to access the product. We don't want to be out of range for the people we can actually help.
Who are you competing with right now? Who are the people doing the best co-browsing right now?
There's a couple of, I would say the best people in the industry would be Surfly, definitely.
Say it again.
Surfly.
Surflink?
No, Surfly. SURFLAY.
LAY, Surflay. Interesting. Okay, how big are they?
They are huge. They are pretty much the main player in the industry. How
much revenue do you think?
I don't have the number right now.
When you say they're huge, how do you know they're huge? What are you basing that off of?
All right. So one of our tactics to see how the competitors are operating and where they are operating. It might sound simple, but we were just using common tools like Billwith to know which websites they were working on. So you can just know how many installs a SaaS company have on their homepage because they crawl the web. So you can see that
So how many installs
have? I don't have the number here. Sorry.
It's big.
Let me see. I didn't know that I was going to be asked this question. Sorry. I will be.
No, it's okay. It's fine. You just know that they're big. I understand. Cool. So look, you'll launch with pricing in September. You're building your waitlist right now using Product Hunt, Reddit, and Twitter. We'll see how launch goes. You have to come back on in 6 months, give us an update, Will. But in the meantime, let's wrap up with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book? Probably Poke the Box by Seth Godin.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Nathan from Almanac.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building a business?
For building a business, I would say LinkedIn. I know it sounds weird and too traditional.
You're a product designer. What's a tool you use for like product design, UI, UX, etc.?
Oh, right. So my main tool would be Figma, definitely.
Figma. Okay. Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Lately, around 6 or 7.
And what's your situation, Will? Married, single, kids?
Engaged.
Congratulations. How old are you?
35.
35. Last question. What's something you wish you knew when you were 20?
I really wish I knew how to manage my time better when I was younger.
Guys, there you have it. SideBuy, a good co-browsing experience. They launched this year, 2021. They're building their waitlist right now, 300 people on it. They're launching in September. They've raised $200,000 in revenue, hoping that's, and funding, hoping that can get them to launch. They're going to launch with a $39 a month price point. If you get in now on the waitlist, it's half price. We'll see what happens at sidebuy.io. Will, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you very much, Nathan.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.